Welcome back to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. I'm your host, Michael Andrews, and ladies and gentlemen, our artist spotlight of the week is truly extraordinary today. We have the amazing, talented, the incredible Ellis Hamilton with us today. And I'm telling you, he is remarkable. From his beautifully composed notes from his latest single, My Heart Is Yours, Ellis is already forging a path in the world of smooth jazz. Our conversation today goes beyond the music. And with his incredible talent that Ellis brings to the scene, I'm telling you, it's great. From a young age, he's displayed an innate gift from various instruments, mastering saxophone, drums, and even the piano. And we're going to dive into his world today. So join me as we welcome Ellis Hamilton. Ellis, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hello, Michael. I am well. How are you? And thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure, indeed. I'm glad you're actually here, man. It's been, we've had to fight through some schedules because you're busy, man. You're absolutely busy. And, and it's no doubt that you're busy. You have a great track that's out right now. And we are just having a great time playing it for you, but playing it for our listeners as well. So tell me something, man. The history of you, although it goes back a little bit, you started out real young as a prodigy. So talk to me about, your interest in music. How did it start?
Oh, you're very kind, Michael. Well, so I have been in love with music since I was about 3 years old. I first saw the movie Drumline, and that just set some sort of a spark in me, if you will. Drums was actually my first instrument. I started as a drummer at 3 and then picked up the piano at around age 7, and then I picked up the alto saxophone at 11. And then, of course, from there, I've incorporated other things as well, like the tenor and soprano, the flute, the bass and clarinet, vibraphone also. So yeah, I have always loved music.
Wow. I'm over here listening to you. I'm thinking, I was picking up toys, man, at 3 years old. You know what I mean? You're picking up instruments, I just think that's amazing because here you are picking up instruments 3 years old, 7 years old. To have that interest, to have that desire to start playing at such a young age is phenomenal. And, many folks are calling.
Thank you so much.
No, it's great. Many people are calling you a prodigy. And I think it's fantastic. People, we look at folks like you like, wow. And we engage and celebrate, whatever you're doing when it comes to the music. So I'm blown away by it. And I've talked to other artists about you, and they are very impressed, So I understand. I'm gonna go back a little bit, and I'm gonna go back before you went off to Berklee. But I want to know about what inspired you. I understand that you made a song for a specific gymnast, Olympian. Gabby's Theme, I think it was called. Talk to us about that.
Yes. So I wrote it in honor of Gabby Douglas, and I was so inspired by her story and what she had to overcome to accomplish what she did. Right. And, with all of her accomplishment, I just felt that there was a lot of negative media at the time that was happening after what she accomplished. And that just really bothered me. And I wanted to write something that was positive to honor what she accomplished.
Nice. And you did that. How old were you when you did that song?
I was about 12 or 13.
Man, you writing theme songs at 12 years old. Come on. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Wow. That really speaks to your compassion, to want to speak up for people. That's the first thing that I noticed. And I think that's great to write something that's so resonating, so powerful and deep, that is to celebrate someone who's deserving. You're almost like sticking up for them. And I think that's great. Now, your ability. Thank you. Now, your ability to play sax, drums, piano. Mm-hmm. Now, with your latest track, and we're going to talk about that in a moment, is obviously with the saxophone. So I hear that when you write, you're writing to see how other instruments will match with it, like the drums and the piano. Did I get that correct?
Yes. Yeah. So what happens is that I usually start with the drums, I can get a good groove and everything. Once I find that piece of inspiration where everything comes from, right? Then I usually start with the drums and everything. And at the same time, I am hearing all of the other parts of the form, the arrangement, the instruments. I'm hearing it all in my head as I start with the foundation, which usually for me is the drums. And then I go and I record the rest of the parts from there based on what I am hearing in my head.
Nice. Now, what was your experience at Berklee like?
Oh, wow. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about myself as much as I did about being a musician and learning about these specific fields and careers I wanted to go into, which were both performance as well as film scoring. I was a dual major.
Yeah, nice.
And thank you. Yeah, I've always known that I wanted that combination, and that I've wanted to go to Berklee for that reason since I was 13.
Wow, phenomenal. Now, let me ask you this. So with your latest track with the saxophone,
yes.
do you foresee yourself writing for yourself playing the piano?
You mean to release, you mean?
Yeah. Do you plan on, releasing a track that has you playing the piano as the main instrument?
I mean, hey, I'm open to anything. I think that would be really cool. I mean, I'd have to, that would be really interesting given the amount of amazing and outstanding musicians with piano as their truly main instrument. I'm not sure how I would compare.
Right.
But hey, I'm always down to try something new.
Right. I understand. So let me ask you this here. So with your track that's doing very well, and I say that with my eyes wide open, it's like very well for a track just released, brand new, your first, and it's doing great out there on the charts, and folks are talking about it. I'm noticing, this as a personal observation, that track sounds very mature. It sounds very seasoned. And so when I find that it's your latest track, I'm like, wait a minute. This is a very seasoned track here. This guy has put in some effort into this, and some very thought out process into this whole track. So I'm noticing that about your play. It's very seasoned, very seasoned.
Thank you very much. Well, I have to give a lot of credit to the producer I worked with, Barry Eastman, whom I'm sure you've heard the name, and it was so amazing to work with and learn from him in the process as well. And he wrote the groove and then sent it over to me and just said, like, hey, come up with some melody ideas and just play what you feel. I mean, that's pretty much what I did, right? I listened to it, and the thing about me, Michael, is that whenever I play, like write or whatever it is, I always aim to put my heart and my soul in everything I do, because that's who I am in a way. It's why I am the way I am with my music. I'm not just sharing my music, I'm sharing myself with the world, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I want to go back to what you just said. He told you to play what you feel.
Yes.
and we're now enjoying what you felt. And I'm going to say continue on playing how you feel. Yeah, cuz it's obviously working for you. How can people get in touch with you? How can they connect? How can our listeners connect with you online? Social media, websites, what do you have for us?
Yes, I am on social media. On Instagram, it's just my name at Ellis Hamilton Official. And then on both Facebook and LinkedIn, it's just Ellis Hamilton.
So Ellis, tell me something. Do you have any other projects that you're working on right now? Because we got this latest track and it's doing great on the charts. Are you doing anything else right now What do you have for us in the future?
I always love working on stuff. So, but I do have another single coming out soon. You know, I'll be posting updates on my social media and everything. And I mean, hey, I'll always be writing, recording, practicing, and performing, and yeah. But yeah, I will definitely post updates and everything as far as what I am working on my social media. So just be sure to tune in there.
Nice. Now going back to your track.
Yes.
Because I want our listeners to hear it. But you talked about how it was you were approached to just play how you feel on this. Is there anything else you can talk to us about this track in terms of its process, what you put into this?
Well, I mean, honestly, that was the process.
That was it. Real simple. Play how you feel. I love it.
Right. Exactly. When he told me that, as soon as I listened to what he wrote and what he sent me, I was just inspired right then and there. And then I immediately went up to start recording. And within the hour, I had written the foundation of the melody for My Heart's Yours. And then we just went from there to fine tune it and to just fully make and produce it into the songs that you hear now.
Nice. And ladies and gentlemen, you get to hear it right now on Sacramento Smooth Jazz. Ellis, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael. It was my pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. To continue listening to Smooth Jazz 24/7, follow Sax Smooth Jazz on social media and listen by going to saxsmoothjazz.fm.